You only got a little bit of snow. It's good. I wonder if he's in the shop or not. We're at Jim's place. Jim had some time with some mice in his Ferrari. We're probably going to hear about that. I want to look at his Oldsmobile just to check it out and just go in for a visit, see what's going on. We said we'd been out here for a week now. We're just finally getting here. And the reason being is because we're working. All right, let's go in. Let's check it out. You've been having quite a time, I understand.
You mean on Messenger people, or you mean in reality?
Well, I'll go with reality.
Oh. Well, I'm more used to that.
Okay. I wonder, did you punch all them holes in that material for that speaker thing?
Yeah. And I even messed up a little bit.
Oh, I won't tell on you, as long as you don't tell on yourself.
No one's going to get right down there and examine
If
it.
they do, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Kick them in the ass.
Well, the light kind of wasn't real good, and the little chips coming out when I was doing it
Yeah.
got in my eyesight view, so that when I put it in the right spot, I didn't have it quite in the right spot. So one line it goes in a little too close to the other line, and it's something I wouldn't have done if I hadn't have noticed it, but I should have stopped and lined it up. But I made the adjustments to keep moving it because the bad piece was only half there.
Right.
So I had to keep moving it. Plus the leather
Why
was
the-
stretched.
why
So
the
the
mice chewing
circles,
out?
the circle line wasn't round.
Yeah.
It was oval. It was supposed to be round, but where it was stretched, it was oval. So when you're trying to piece together a circle from an oval, you kind of have to pick the spot that's right. And as I said, I made a mistake a little bit as I was doing it, but it looks good enough.
I want to see it.
Like it kind of matches a lot of things.
My face and my ass.
Well,
Huh?
yeah, like, there's a mark on every single piece of the interior. So this is just one more piece. You know, it's the same deal.
You polished? Did you polish? Where did you polish? Did you polish that?
I did this.
Wow.
Sanded it with 2500 right straight.
Yeah.
And you know how orange peely it was?
Yeah.
2500. Rick Salzman said, or a buddy said, if you sand it right from the start from 25, then you don't have to worry about the 1500 grit scratches.
I agree, 100%.
But it takes longer to sand. And the problem was the paint's still soft.
Yes.
It never seen the sunlight, so the paint, he said, watch out for the specks, and he wasn't kidding, because you make like 2 sweeps, back in the water, wipe the specks off.
Yeah.
2 sweeps, back in the water, wipe the specks off, and if you don't, it put gouges in the paint job in every direction, which are a bitch to polish out. Yeah, it's too soft, like little balls of paint, scratch grooves all through it.
I was scared for you when you said you were going to do it.
Well, I did the whole top of the car,
Yeah.
and my buffer wasn't working. I had one of those little air ones, and it stopped working. As soon as you put it down, it would stop. So I just grabbed the polish and my polishing rags, and I hand buffed it. That's hand buffed from
Fantastic.
2500.
Fantastic.
It took like 4 hours, but and my arms are totally wore out and still wore out from the ordeal.
Maybe I can hire on every job we do.
I hand buff everything, and as I said, when you hand buff, you got to keep moving the rag to a new spot and then throw it away and put a new rag, because the buildup of the polish will put grooves and circle scratches everywhere.
Well, I can tell just from there back, it looked sheenier.
Yeah,
It's smoother, flatter.
But anyway, here's my repair job, right there.
On that speaker?
Yeah, I built this.
That's
And
awesome.
I glued the original to its thing, and then I glued this to the screen, and I pushed this in, and of course the speaker screws hold it in place. But originally, that's all one piece.
So a mouse got in there and
It's
chewed
just smooth.
that.
Yeah, the mouse sat in there on the floor and reached up and tore all between the holes, tore the whole section right out.
Was it Tom or Jerry?
I don't know, but I leave the windows up now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I had the windows down about here, and the mouse jumped in and.
That put you right in a dilemma.
But I did the top of that door and the top of the corner. I didn't do the sides of the doors. You know what I mean? Like that's still down the road, and maybe I'll wait till the sun hits it and dries it a little bit, and I might even investigate some of these tools like called buffers.
You did a fantastic job on the speaker thing, man, covering it. Fantastic.
Terrible. And the paint is so soft, you got to use this just to close the hood. Your fingerprints will scratch the paint.
Yeah.
Just your fingerprints.
Look at that.
You go like this, it scratches. But anyway, I didn't do this because I managed to get a fairly good paint job on that. But I did the top of the bumper, all these, and all this.
Wow. Beautiful, well done.
But if you stand right here with the light, you can actually see the shine from the window. Right down in close, but that's hand buffed.
This
from 220.
This
or 2500 hand buffed, and it took like a day, like just polishing. But
I like the front end, man. That looks good.
there was no chance of burning through. I can guarantee you that.
Why is
By
that?
doing it by hand.
Yeah.
Polishing and buffing it by hand, you don't burn through. Like your arms fall off first. But.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're brand new 30-year-old Canadian Tire fog lights, still in the box. I actually bought them for Dad for a Christmas present, and he never even took them out. Well, actually, he did have them out of the box, but we put them back in. But they've never been used. And those are brand new Kubota tractor blinkers off the back. And of course, I had to take the light fixture out because it was a single, and I had to put a double in. And
So those aren't original to the car?
No.
Nobody even knows.
No, nobody in this world has enough money to buy the original stuff.
Awesome.
$10,000.
Oh, I thought to buy
probably.
this. That's good, Jim.
$8,000 to $10,000 used
Wow.
to replace the blinkers and driving lights in the front of this car.
Wow. I'm glad I don't have one.
From what I can tell, like
Yeah.
at least $3,000 a side American, and that's $10,000
Yeah,
because you
for
just
sure.
double it, right?
Yeah.
And, that's a fact. Like
That's a fact, Jack.
the border charges
Yeah.
are way more money than the part and the shipping. Just the border charges.
I always say if you buy
Crazy.
something, just double it net tax.
Yep.
Double
Yep,
net
it
tax.
is.
Yeah.
It is. It's bad. And the worst thing is, if it wasn't the fact that the parts I need aren't available in Canada, because I'm pretty sure if I go to the dealer, they're expensive.
Right.
The problem is at say a junkyard here, you go buy a part, it's the same price as if you went to the States. The only difference is shipping it over the border brings it right up to out of range. You know what I mean?
I like the front end of it. I think the lights fit perfect. I like the round and the square shape, other than the rectangle. I think it looks smart. Really smart.
But anyway, I'll turn them on.
Smart.
They do come on.
Well, I had no doubt they didn't.
No daytime running lights though.
No daytime
No.
running lights?
No, those are. I had the thing running and they don't come on.
Well, I must say, every time I see it, you bring it up a level. Doesn't he? Huh? Every time you see it, he brings it up a level.
There's one blinker.
Yeah? We're doing an inspection right now. Yep, you got her.
And this is supposed to be parking lights.
Yeah. Beautiful. With that now, would you?
Yeah.
Everything running good?
Yeah, and this, of course, you've seen that.
Yeah. Well done. Well, looks like you put your patience and time in, haven't you?
Oh, I love parking lights on. The parking light button is on the dash.
Yeah.
Or a console. Console.
When you getting it out, when you getting it registered and all that stuff, we should stop by Registry of Motor Vehicles and get an appointment.
Oh, when snow melts and the lawn starts growing and I get it out of here. Know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
someone, I think it was Ferrari chat line I read, where if your car won't start when it's hot, one check to see if it's flooding or starved is when it won't go, with the key on, pull the air breather off and lightly touch the air dam.
Yeah.
Just like that, and you'll hear gas moving. Then jump in the car, start her up. And that's what I did, and it started right up. That means it's vacuum locked. And the bleed down from the fuel distributor is too fast, and it airlocks, which means it's either got a leak in the vacuum line someplace, or the ball in the fuel pump isn't working, which is a brand new fuel pump, so I figured that's good. Or the fuel accumulator is gone. So I bought a new fuel accumulator.
Sounds sophisticated.
That's this thing right here.
Yeah.
It's not in the car yet.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing on the computer all morning, talking to people and making a fool of myself. Literally.
Hey,
But
I'm
anyway,
gonna do that once in a while.
hopefully that'll do. I don't know if I'm going to say I expect it to work.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it works.
Well,
but
it's a disappointment if you do.
last year's problem was every time I ran it and turned it off, it filled the crankcase full of gasoline.
Okay, there's
Just
some, yeah.
right to the top. And I went through like $1,000 worth of changing the motor oil until then. Of course, it takes like a 5-weight 50 synthetic castrol. Like
That's what our lawn tractor
that's
does,
what's
baby.
recommended in Canada because
Right.
it's colder here. But anyway, I kept changing the oil, and but the fuel distributor was leaking by, and the pressure was pushing, but the vacuum thing could not overcome the problem that the fuel distributor had of leaking. So that was the exact opposite problem that I have now, but I think I had that problem too, but where the fuel distributor wasn't working, that was a much bigger issue, because you get like a quart of gas going into the motor from pressure of 80 pounds pressure. Like it filled the crankcase right to the top.
Yeah.
Like way over full. Like way over full. More than a cup or two.
I know exactly what you're talking about because we have a
Anyway.
lawn tractor does the exact same thing. We have something that shuts fuel off now.
Yeah.
You just shut the fuel off.
Well, some of the dirt bikes, if you put a bike on the trailer, always shut the gas off, because the jiggling on the road will jiggle the float and the needle and
Yeah.
empty the gas tank right down through the carburetor.
Okay.
So whenever you trailer something, you always, if you can, turn off the gas. But anyway, hopefully this thing should give me maybe some luck.
I want to look at your Rosenfield.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
do. We're gonna get ready. Tomorrow's the day. We're
yeah.
coming to get it, eh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm in a pre-check mode.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to like this. I think personally, you
Bit off more than I can chew.
Yeah, I cleared out some of the junk out of it yesterday and I looked, and I honestly, I would like to have the original seats fit back in without too much hassle, but I'm not gonna say a word. Honest to God, you are totally the boss here. I'm not gonna say what, I'm not gonna make any recommendations. I'm just gonna keep my mouth totally shut. This car has no future, as far as I'm concerned, unless you do something here.
Well, that's,
I have a rebuilt motor to drop in and a brand new windshield, but again, I got more than I can handle.
I'm gonna put a floor in it. I said. It looks to me like to get the floor in, I'm gonna have to do maybe some quarter panel work. Maybe we'll see. Because listen, I'm still not scared.
Get any of my opinions?
I'm still not scared.
None. Not a word.
No, I'm still not scared. I'll put a floor in it, so you can get the seat back in it. The seat probably fits on the flat part of the floor anyways.
Yeah.
So
in the back.
I'm gonna make it flat anyways. Yeah, nothing to it. Piece of piss. What do you think?
You're the boss.
Okay. I'll just cut
You're
some square
You're
tubing.
the boss.
Some sheet metal, put some bends, the door's shut, you wanted the floor in it, I said I could do it. Now I can't back off.
Well, Is that how that works?
Well, generally when you say you're going to do something, I try to do it. Try to. In my brain.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, you want to put a floor in it, like I said. Tomorrow we're coming to get it. Yeah. As long as it don't fall apart as we haul it on the trailer.
The frame won't. I can't guarantee the body doesn't fall off the frame.
Okay, well, that's what's going on tomorrow.
Parts of it are hooked on, I think, and it's been like this for quite a few years.
Like you just want to be able to put a seat in it, right?
The
floor.
Seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The seats in it. Cool. I like the roof on these.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah.
Nice, eh? What a sound that makes. Your roof.
And this car has its original intact, in good shape wiring harness.
So you don't want to burn that up?
Wow.
Don't cut that up? That one.
No, I'm not saying a word, but I'm just saying that it does. The wires don't need to be replaced. You know, like most old cars, that's a must, right?
Yeah.
That's usually what took them off the road.
No, we won't do nothing to the outside. We'll put a floor in it though, and it basically won't be that hard. It won't be that hard. Nothing to it. I'm just gonna square tube it and make panels fit square tubing. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't plan on putting it on the road.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But maybe the next owner might. You know what I mean? But myself, I just like to have it running because I have a good motor.
Yeah.
That's not doing anything.
You ever see a car rust out there before? Weird, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Very weird. You got the stainless for the quarter pounds, do you?
Oh, I took it all off.
But you still have it, obviously.
Yeah, I have everything. The car was complete. Yeah, it had all its chrome.
So you get it in kind, you paint it with a brush, make it look pretty good.
Yeah.
You're pretty good with a brush.
I bought it in 1988.
1988. That's a few years ago.
I polished the chrome, and it looked like $1 million.
Yes.
It looked real good when I polished it.
Yeah.
And someone told me the last coat of polish, just leave the polish right on there.
Yeah, right.
And it'll help. Don't do that. Can't get the polish off. The polish won't come off. It might come off with a real good polish, but it won't wipe off. It's stained right into the chrome.
Well, I found it the day when I did put some polish on the vehicle, left it inside in the sun. Wow. Does not work good. Especially,
No,
did not work good.
no, burned right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was you into weights one time, Jim?
No, somebody dropped them off here.
They've
Been out here for 17 years. I guess you're not supposed to leave them in the cold because they crack.
Well,
but there they are.
Yeah, there they are.
There's 2 sills over there that came with the Ocean Bill. I don't know if you want them.
Yes, well, like give me.
They're not long enough to reach.
Well, I can
They
add
only
on.
get the door part. You'd have to add to it. But.
That's all I would have anyways. Is be able to make.
Oh,
Only got a 4-foot break, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I'd have to put it together anyways. But then, yeah, make sure you bring them along. Tick-tack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Oh, we don't want them dented up, Jim.
No, they won't get. They're 18 gauge. They're not long enough to move from the front tire to the back tire, but
That's good.
they came with the car.
Yep. All right, we got John's gonna come out. I'm not sure if Doug's coming with John. What's going on? But we're gonna be here tomorrow with the trailer. Pick the bad boy up, and you're gonna just roll that one out again.
You know, here I'm tuning and working on a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm learning quite a bit. And I have a Ferguson, 1950 Ferguson tractor up there that I drove at the farm for 2 years, never a hitch, with nothing in the tune-up department touched from
Yes.
when I bought it. But I had to rebuild the head, changed all the oil and put some tires on it and got the brakes working and drove and drove and drove. Then I got it home, couldn't get it going. I put a new distributor cap, spark plugs, wires, rotor button, points, everything, fixed the wires, cleaned it up, and I can't get it going. And that's just a simple 2-wire. There's 3 wires coming off the back of the key switch, which I don't understand. But there's 3 wires. If it was 2 wires, I'd understand it. It doesn't. It has 3 wires, so I'm fucked.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
I don't know if the thing has spark. I gave up on it, but it won't start. And here I am working on a Ferrari, but I can't even get a simple 2-wire tractor running.
Hey.
And it's kind of unfortunate because the tractor would work good to back in here, hook on, and pull it out.
Well, we can.
You know what I mean? And the Studebaker, anything, even
We would help you, yeah, by yourself.
But I can't rely on my intelligence to get that tractor going by tomorrow. And so, and I put everything in brand new. But
Don't
I
put it
am
in.
also the man that built that Hudson too.
There you go.
And I worked on that more than you can't possibly imagine how many times I did tune-ups on that. And I got it so that it would start and ran absolutely beautiful. And it would last 100 miles, and then there, that was it. It ran like shit and wouldn't start. And I'd take cleaner, put another set of points in, take carburetor all apart, make a slight adjustment, got the thing to run absolutely beautiful again, and start right up, drive 100 miles, same thing. And I went through all my suppliers.
That's a
in the
working
States,
man's truck.
Ran out of points. Sorry, Jim, you bought the last 5 sets I have. I don't have any more for another month. And I had to start cleaning up some of my old ones to put back in because all my suppliers ran out. But anyway, the Studebaker, I drove that 5 years, 1 or 2 tune-ups, and never had a problem except for I had oil build up on my points because it used to have blow-by going up through the shaft at your house there at the time we caught it on fire.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Full glass of rum went on that.
And
Still didn't go
the
out.
flames were bad, and then he threw this great big mug full of hard liquor on it, and it just went. It was just like a bomb went off, and it just went. You couldn't even see the truck. The flames were so bad, and it was actually good because what it did was it washed the brake clean off the motor down on the lawn, like it washed it off, and then after that my hat I think I used to put the fire out. But the fire was coming out of the distributor hole like a tornado, like it just like that fire right out of the distributor hole in a circle. And you know what I did when after all that I grabbed the brake clean again and I sprayed all through the points, put the cap on, then jumped in the truck and started it up, and it didn't catch on fire again.
Wow.
But I think it must have been because I had the cap on it. Maybe a spark and brake clean don't ignite in
That's
a
not
small
good.
area,
Yeah.
but it could have blew up, you know, because I drowned in it and then put the cap on, and she's fired right up when it should have blew up. This brake clean is kind of like, well,
Explosive.
yeah, it's like TNT, nitroglycerin.
What's that day? What's that day? Which way are we going in
Oh,
here?
it doesn't matter.
Your Ferrari looks good, man. Looks good.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah,
Not too much has changed.
yeah, I
Everything's still in order.
could have drove the skidoo around the yard last night. I had like 2 inches of snow here.
Terrible, wasn't it? Man. I'm gonna go home, go back to work. Got a little bit of work to do on John's gas pump. I got some more filling to do. And I
Wow.
might throw some mud on the 42 while we're on that point, that sort of stuff. I want you to stop over whenever you feel like I'm working on your car.
Yep.
Yeah,
As I
stop
said, you're not going to get any input except for "Wow, beautiful job." That's, I'm not. My 2 cents doesn't really.
I'll put a floor in it.
Yep.
And you'll probably be
Like,
happy. I hope I can
There's
make
the
you happy.
motor that's it's sort of a 56.
like that
Oldsmobile.
motor.
That's 57, but according to a friend that had one of these and had the motor out, he said this motor was identical to the 57.
Okay.
And it should fit right in. And that's supposedly all rebuilt, everything, new pistons, and it was driven long enough to break in, and then they took it out and they put in the 70s, a 425 or 426 Oldsmobile rebuilt in it because he want more power.
Like everybody.
And this motor came with a good starter, and the guy said, always fired right up. And it came with the starter. That has a brand new starter on it, and it had the reputation right from brand new that you have to bump start to get going. It's
one
an
of them
automatic that you could bump start, but that was the only way that car would ever go was a bump start.
Again. I guess my dream out of the whole thing is see you go around the dooryard.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'd like to hear it run.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine suggested welding the ring gears or the ring gears in the rear end.
Pause you track it.
Yeah, pause track it. It's not really a good idea for the road, but I'm not really driving it for the road. But if I do that, and these motors have fairly good power, if I do that, I can do power turns and stuff like that. Like it's no good having a V8 car that has a fair amount of fairly good power on dirt. Playing around, that's one wheel spin, right? It's got to have two wheels spinning, or else it,
We can model out.
like weld it together, then like it's constantly slewing back and forth. It's a lot better than just one wheel spin and just suffers and goes straight.
One wheel peel.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's against the law to drive around
It
and
sounds
spin
appealing
around
to
on
me.
grass.
Sounds appealing to me. You went and bought a whole shitload of those. Where
Oh, a friend gave them to me. I
Okay.
guess that was only $10.
Well, would you expect it to be more?
Well,
I
it
suppose.
would be if I bought them from the States. But anyway,
This stuff is good, eh? That's good. That's good shit.
Oh, you.
Satin black.
Yeah, the
doing
only
your
problem
moldings?
is it's gotta be room temperature.
Makes generally all that stuff does.
Yeah, this is the black for the trim.
Yeah. It's
But
good stuff.
it's got to be 80 degrees or it turns gray.
Okay.
If you spray it on, it'll turn light gray, just like gray primer. I learned that.
Okay.
It has to be warm, and it's been too cold. I painted that grill by the bumper,
Yeah.
or by the back mufflers there,
Yeah.
with that out here, and it turned gray, just like gray primer. Oh my God, that's no good. So I sanded it down and took it in, and I set this can and that piece on top of the wood stove and in the house in the wintertime. Then I went outside, sprayed the whole thing as fast as I could back in and let it dry, sliding it back and forth on the wood stove. And you can see it looks right. But if
Quite
I
a
hadn't
process.
have, the first coat or two turned gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't like the cold weather, but see, it was like 45, 50 degrees.
We'll look at something for a second. That little shock works that no problem, I guess. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, it's got a lock. It has no choice. But I polished, like this was all dull looking
Yeah.
right here, and I
Yeah.
polished the top. So the reflection's right, and I didn't do this, but I'm not done, but
Yeah. This is, yeah.
But
It
at
makes it
least
look
I'm
nicer, it
looking
really does.
at
Look at
a
it.
better surface now.
You
know
were.
what I mean?
You were. Yeah.
Because I was getting kind of annoyed with the orange peel. It never would have happened if I had my wits about me the day I was painting, because I would have stopped painting and worked on the gun until I got it working. But
Well,
I
that's good.
don't paint enough. I only paint a car like once every 10 years. So I was there spraying, and I put it on extra heavy, thinking
And
that
you-
it was going to
and-
flow. And actually, it looked good when I painted it. It wasn't until it dried, like 4 or 5 hours later, is when it sunk in and turned orange peely. Because it didn't look that bad when I had it sprayed, but
Pick the
after it
easiest car to
dried,
spray a Ferrari. After 10 years, pick the easiest. Pick the easiest one, didn't
yeah. Well, I'm better at tuning this than I am that tractor.
you? Well, there you go. Did you want to go for a coffee? You want us to take you to go get a coffee? What,
Okay,
first bird, get you
yeah.
coffee? Want to
Okay,
do that, baby?
yeah,
Go up and get a coffee?
Okay. Good,
Yeah.
Good.
We're going to take Jim up and go get a coffee, and then we'll talk.
We
we're
got to
gonna-
keep that social distance idea thing going strong, because I guess we got an epidemic going
Yeah.
on.
Yes, that's true. We have.
I had to keep reminding myself. 'cause
We
my
haven't
life
been
hasn't
nowheres.
changed, right? I live exactly the same as I always have.
We haven't been really anywhere that I'm concerned about.
Mom,
In the garage.
I visit Mom all the
Eating
time, and
dirt.
she's very concerned.
Well, I don't want to bother your mother, that's for sure. Just take
No.
you up and get you a coffee. Let's rock and roll. We'll just end it there. And we're going to get a coffee. We'll see y'all later. Tomorrow we'll probably be back to Jim's to get the car and load it up and try to get it to the house.
Unless we have a big snowstorm.